People have been forbidden from entering these places for 100 years. Ever wondered about the world's most forbidden places? Places so dangerous and mysterious that they're off limits for our own safety? From a cursed town to a haunted island you'd never check out of. Discover them before it's too late. Number 1. Chernobyl's Elephant's Foot. Let's kick it off with a place frozen in time since the 1980s. Chernobyl's Elephant's Foot. The name alone evokes dread. Few places on Earth are as haunting as the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. In 1986, a catastrophic disaster crippled the plant and left the surrounding area irradiated and uninhabitable for the next 20,000 years. Even though radiation levels have dropped enough for some daring visits, there's one part of the plant that's still a no-go: the maintenance corridor beneath the destroyed reactor. Why? Because it's home to a massive, intensely radioactive glob known as the Elephant's Foot. This terrifying blob of corium, a mix of nuclear fuel and melted materials, formed during the meltdown, burning through over 6 feet of concrete before coming to rest. When first discovered, the Elephant's Foot emitted 4.5 million chest X-rays worth of radiation per hour. Just 5 minutes of exposure could be lethal. Although its intensity has diminished over time, it remains deadly. Since 2016, it's been sealed off by a colossal containment structure, keeping the radiation in and us out. And trust me, that's just fine by me. Number 2, Pavia Island. Next up, we're heading to Italy's Venetian lagoon, home to the infamous Pavia Island. First settled in the 7th century, this island has seen its share of dark times. In the late 14th century, war forced the inhabitants to flee, leaving it abandoned for centuries. Fast forward to 1645, when octagonal forts were built to defend Venice, one of which still stands today. But Paviglia's story takes a grim turn when the plague hit Venice. The island became a quarantine zone for over 160,000 plague victims, many of whom never left. It's said that half the island's soil is made up of their ash. If that wasn't creepy enough, the island later housed a mental asylum in the early 1900s, where horrifying treatments like lobotomies were common. Legends even tell of a sadistic doctor who conducted gruesome experiments on patients. Abandoned since 1968, Pavia is now off-limits, with its decaying buildings and haunted history making it one of the most eerie places on Earth. So even if you could visit, I'd think twice about stepping foot there, but don't hesitate to give a like to this video if you enjoyed so far. Number 3. Platoon in Hieropolis. Next, we journey to ancient Turkey, to the Platoon at Hieropolis. This ancient cave was once thought to be a gateway to the underworld, thanks to the deadly carbon dioxide gas it emits. Animals and birds that ventured too close would drop dead from the fumes, reinforcing the belief that this was a sacred entrance to Hades itself. Priests of the time would demonstrate its deadly powers by leading animals to their doom while miraculously staying safe themselves, thanks to their knowledge of the cave's gas levels. However, to stop unwary tourists from stumbling to their doom, the original entrance was sealed off in 1970, and the second is flooded. Today, the cave is sealed off to protect unsuspecting visitors from its lethal gases. It's a chilling reminder of how little we once knew about natural phenomena, and how those ancient mysteries still hold power over us. The Plutonian remains an enigmatic testament to the ancient world's blend of religion and science, a place where the living dared not tread. Number 4, Runid Island. From ancient myths, we move to a modern nightmare on Runid Island in the Pacific Ocean. Runid was chosen by the US after World War II as a testing ground for its nuclear weaponry. Between 1948 and 1958, 43 nuclear tests were conducted on the site, amounting to some 85,000 cubic meters of highly dangerous radioactive waste being left behind. To contain the damage, the US government decided to gather all the sludge up and dump it into a 330-foot wide bomb crater that had been left on the island by one of their tests. Then they built a huge 18-inch thick concrete lid over it. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Well, not quite. See, they'd originally intended on lining the entire crater with concrete too, but decided against it to save money. Because of this, radioactive waste has been allowed to seep out into the surrounding soil. Not good. The entire island has been placed off limits to the public, but the US Department of Energy published a report in 2020 assuring there's no need to worry for at least another 20 years. But settlers on neighboring islands are worried, and can you blame them? If the concrete dome were to crack or crumble, the consequences could be devastating for everyone on the atoll. The situation on Runid Island is a ticking time bomb, posing ongoing environmental risks that could have catastrophic consequences for the region. It's a stark reminder of the long-term impacts of nuclear testing and the challenges we face in managing nuclear waste. The island remains a grim testament to human folly and a poignant warning for the future. Number 5. Dudleytown, Connecticut. Finally, we end our journey in the eerie ghost town of Dudleytown, Connecticut. Once a thriving community, this abandoned town is now infamous for its dark history and supposed curse. Settled in the mid-18th century, Dudleytown quickly gained a reputation for bizarre accidents, insanity, and mysterious deaths. The curse is said to date back to the Dudley family, who fled England after a series of unfortunate events. Today the town is off-limits to the public, with locals fiercely protecting its secrets. Tales of ghostly apparitions, strange noises, and unsettling occurrences abound, making it a hotspot for paranormal enthusiasts. But beware, trespassing isn't just frowned upon, it's actively discouraged due to the town's haunted reputation and the ire of annoyed locals. Whether you believe in curses or not, Dudleytown's spooky legacy is enough to keep most people away. And there you have it, the first part of the world's most forbidden places, each with its own unique and chilling story. From radioactive nightmares to haunted islands, these spots are reminders of the dangers and mysteries that still exist in our world. Which one gave you the chills? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating explorations. Stay tuned for the second part.